sato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Buddhang Sharanang Gacchami, Dharmang Sharanang Gacchami, Sanghang Sharanang Gacchami. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Lead us from unreal to the real. Lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. And I take refuge in the Sangha, the community, Dharma, the teaching, and the Buddha, the teacher. Om, peace, peace, peace. Good morning to you all, and namaskar. I am very happy to be present today to speak on Bhagavan Buddhadev, whose birth anniversary, birthday will be celebrated. This year it has fallen on the 23rd of May. We will have a program that day also here, but I feel that I am privileged, blessed opportunity on my part to have this scope, to spend a little time in the meditation of Buddha, his life, his teachings, his message, which is wonderful, about which Swami Vivekananda spoke so much. And he openly said, Buddha is my store. I will quote Swamiji's, one portion is there. I have loved him most. Of all teachers, he has got the greatest admiration from me. I am quoting Vivekananda, you see his words. And when he used to speak on Buddha in America, some of the people from the audience sometimes come, Swamiji, are you a Buddhist? Could not pronounce Buddha properly. Swamiji understood that he could not even pronounce Buddha properly. So Swamiji just teasingly will answer, no, I am not a Buddhist, I am a flowerist, bud and flower. So, Swamiji, what is your religion? Are you a Buddhist? Swamiji said, truth is my religion and the universe my country. And once he was compared with Buddha, and Swamiji said, Buddha, I am the dasos, I am tasya dasasya dasasya dasoham. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Buddha. So, the magnanimity of Swami Vivekananda's heart. There is a song where Swami Vivekananda is just the composer. This couplet is that যে ত্যাগে সুখ দে প্রেমিতে নারদ বুদ্ধের মতো হৃদয় যার. Oh Master, whom you brought with you, this Swami Vivekananda, whose love for God can be compared with that of Narada, whose purity, detachment, renunciation could be compared with none other than Shukadeva, the son of Vyasadeva, who was born and after getting delivered from the mother's womb, started walking towards the forest. Won't go to, and Father Vyasadeva, who wrote Bhagavata, Gita, Mahabharata, 18 Puranas, Brahma Sutra, that Vyasadeva, such a man of knowledge, he, like an ordinary householder for attachment, running after the son, if he can bring him back home. So that was Shukadeva, and Vivekananda is being compared that whose renunciation and purity, detachment could be compared to none other than Shukadeva, the son of Vasudeva. And then Buddhir Mata, whose heart was like as broad as that of Buddha. So there is a song that, and Buddha, the way he suffered, the way Jesus suffered, Swami Vivekananda for his magnanimity of heart, how much he suffered. So he had wonderful devotion, his love, and many of his teachings we find. It was just the reflection, it is just Vivekananda's words, but the teachings had been taught those things thousands of years back, 2,500 years back by Buddha himself. But Buddha also, as Swami Vivekananda says, I quote, that Buddha has not taught anything new. He has just preached Hinduism, not Vedantic truth, not its karmakanda, the ceremonials and rituals. There are two divisions in the Vedas. One is the Vedanta, the essence of the Vedas, which is called Upanishad, Vedanta. Anta means end of Veda, Upanishads. All the knowledge of Atman, Brahman. And another one is Karmakanda. This is Jnanakanda, knowledge portion. The other part of the Vedas is called Karmakanda. Karma means activities, sacrifices, rituals. Do that and you will go to heaven. Here also you will enjoy good health, many things, what you are desirous of. You do this homa, om, swaha, do some sacrifice, offer some goats, offer some other things, and you will get the benefit, merit out of that. And with that, you will have good days here. And also, after your passing away, death, you will not be sent into the hell, you will go to heaven. What is heaven? Everything, enjoyment. Always you enjoy. But the message of the Vedas is their highest one in the Vedanta. Get liberated, feel your oneness with the ultimate reality. If you go to the heaven by doing some ceremonials, rituals, and leading a good life, ethical life, moral life, what will happen? After that, again you will come back from the heaven when your merit is finished. Interest is gone, again they will put you back, send you back to the earth. Kshine punne martu lokam vishanti. In the Gita, Sri Krishna was telling Arjuna, if you go to the heaven, what will happen after some days, some years, some ages, some millennium? Again you have to come back and again suffer. So, that is one side. And Buddha preached this Vedanta side, although he did not speak much about this philosophy and God and all these things. He gave something very new, and Swamiji was giving that to understand Buddha, you have to understand what was and his teachings, what was the situation at that time in India. And this Buddha's life and teaching, first to the Westerners, it was brought by none other than Edwin Arnold, the famous British writer and poet. And he became world famous for this book, masterpiece. And it was an anthem in poetry. He composed this, The Light of Asia, or The Great Renunciation, Mahabinishkramana, is a book by Sir Edwin Arnold. The first edition of the book was published in London in July 1879. His personal life was very colorful. He had many marriages, many divorces. He was a very lover of Japan. One of the wives were Japanese. And many things. A Japanese wife also one of his title of his book was that. So many things he wrote, but he got this fame by writing this life of none other than Bhagavan Buddhadev. In the form of a narrative poem, the book endeavors to describe the life and time of Prince Gautama Buddha, who, after attaining enlightenment, became Buddha, the enlightened one, the awakened one, the blessed one. The book presents his life, character, and philosophy in a series of verses. It is a free adaptation, translation of the Lalita Vistara, where Buddha's life and teaching is there in Pali. So from Lalita Vistara, he gave all these accounts, Buddha's life, his birth, his teachings, his sadhana, his austerities, and then his preaching. And the Western people got acquainted through this wonderful book, this, The Light of Asia. Afterwards, he was a versatile genius. Afterwards also he tried the light of the world. He tried with the life of Jesus Christ. But that was not that popular because Christian missionaries had opposed many the way he wanted to present Jesus. The missionaries, they did not like that. So there was criticism also. And a little criticism was also there that Buddha's teachings have not been properly conveyed, portrayed by Arnold in The Light of Asia. But however, this was from India. Some Buddhists, followers of Buddhists also complained. That's a different thing. But in general, through this book, The Light of Asia, which is the topic today, this life and teachings of Bhagavan Buddhadev spread all over the world. And I just quote a little bit from Swami Vivekananda, who spoke in the Parliament of Religion several times. In several places, Swami Vivekananda spoke about Buddha, and when he was not a monk, a young Narendra at his home, Buddha came and he had a vision of Buddha. So he was a lover of Buddha, and his life and teachings inspired him so much, Swami Vivekananda. He spoke at the World Parliament of Religions in 1893. One lecture was there, the Buddhism, the fulfillment of Hinduism. And in many other places also, in his paper of Hinduism, there also he said that may he who is the Brahman of the Hindus, the Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, the Buddha of the Buddhists, the Jehovah of the Jews, the Father in heaven of the Christians, give strength to you to carry out your noble idea. So he was appreciating and speaking about at the end of his lecture on Hinduism. All other lectures he gave extempore, but that Hinduism, he took a note also, paper on Hinduism. There he quoted Buddha also. And he gave another wonderful lecture, The Message of the Buddha. Actually, it was on Gautama Buddha in San Francisco. We will quote from there also. So everywhere we find abundance of praise and appreciation. In one or two places, what the Buddhists, later on present-day Buddhists, are preaching about Buddha's teachings, he has contradicted that and tried to correct them according to his understanding that you people have not understood Buddha properly. That also he said. And a few words from Swami Vivekananda. I am not a Buddhist, as you have heard, and yet I am. India worships Buddha as God incarnate on earth. All my life I have been very fond of Buddha. I have more veneration for that character than for any other, that boldness, that fearlessness, and that tremendous love. He was born for the good of men. So, see the words appropriate words used this to complement this Buddha and his teaching, his life. And then Swamiji said, Jesus Christ was a Jew and Shakyamuni was a Hindu. The Jews rejected Jesus Christ, nay, crucified him. And the Hindus have accepted Shakyamuni as God and worship him. But the real difference that we Hindus want to show between modern Buddhism and what we should understand as the teachings of Lord Buddha lies principally in these. And he says, Shakyamuni came, means Gautama Buddha came to preach nothing new. He also, like Jesus, came to fulfill and not to destroy. Again, I repeat, Shakyamuni, Gautama Buddha came not to destroy, but he was the fulfillment, the logical conclusion, the logical development of the religion of the Hindus. Hinduism cannot live without Buddhism, nor Buddhism without Hinduism. Then realize what the separation has shown to us, that the Buddhists cannot stand without the brain and philosophy of the Brahmins, of the Hindus, nor the Brahmin without the heart of the Buddhist. This separation between the Buddhists and the Brahmins is the cause of the downfall of India. I am quoting it from this Buddhism, the Fulfillment of Hinduism, a lecture given by Swami Vivekananda in the Parliament of Religions. I will quote from his lecture given in 1900, in 18th March in San Francisco. Swami Vivekananda's second visit. He came in 1899 and in 1900, 18th March, he delivered a speech on Gautama Buddha, and that was later published as the Buddha's Message to the World in the complete works of Vivekananda. So to understand Buddha and Buddha's teachings and the situation at that time in India, if we take help of Swami Vivekananda's description and his opinion, then it will be easy for us to understand Buddha. We will go for that. But let us see what Buddha has said. And we go a little bit about, very little time about his birth and all these things, because mostly we know. But those who do not know, just for them, that his father was a king, a Kshatriya king, a Hindu, in the Nepal. The name of the kingdom was Kapilavastu, and his mother's name was Mayadevi, his father's name was Shuddhadan, King Shuddhadan, and Gautama Buddha was born in 560 BC, before Christ, on a full moon night of Vaishak. That is, Buddhists, they celebrate this Buddha Purnima, because Buddha was born on that full moon night. That night is considered as and called, named as the Vaishakhi Purnima. And Swami Vivekananda said, this is not an ordinary day, Vaishakhi Purnima, thrice blessed. Why thrice blessed? Because Buddha was born on that Purnima day. And Buddha got enlightenment during his tapasya afterwards. That also was that particular day, Buddha Purnima. And when at the age of 80 he gave up his body, this physical mortal coil, he left. At that time also, that day also was Buddha Purnima. So Swamiji said, this Buddha Purnima is a special day, thrice blessed day. On this day, Buddha was born, Buddha was enlightened, illumined, and on this very day, Buddha gave up his physical mortal body also. So, Swami Vivekananda, I am quoting, thrice blessed day. And his mother was generally what happens when in Indian tradition is the delivery in the presence of the mother would be always very joyful and without any, very comfortable, without any problem. And Buddha's mother also, carrying the child, was going to her father's house, and on the way there was a very beautiful spot, Lumbini Park. This Lumbini Gardens, a beautiful spot. And there she found that she was having the labor pain, and the baby was born there on this particular day at night, Buddha Purnima day. His mother's name was Maya Devi. And then, instead of going to father's house, all came back to the palace, and many were coming to see the prince. And his father was a very pious man, very nice man, and he had two wives, this Maya Devi and Mahaprajapati, because within 7 days this mother will pass away, and his stepmother, Mahaprajapati, took the place of mother and took care of the baby Buddha. The one rishi at that time says, Ashita, very venerable, scholarly says, he came to pay his visit and bless the child. In those days when the newborn is there, all sadhu, santos will come and saints and bless the baby so that everything is fine with the lineage. So everything is royal, kingly, you understand. And when he came, instead of blessing the baby, he started fell flat, prostrated before the baby, and was just murmuring something, offering prayers, and said, this baby is not an ordinary one. One day, full prostrate, and she was foretelling, not an ordinary baby, this child will in future, the humanity, the path of, he will show the humanity the path of spiritual liberation. And said, keep his name his as Siddhartha. Siddhartha meaning who is already a pure and liberated soul. So that was the prediction of the one of the venerable sages at that time, Ashit, sage Ashit. And after that there was naming ceremony. At that time, priests, they also foretold that he will either become the greatest ruler of the world or would renounce the world, attain spiritual illumination, and become a great religious teacher. So, at the time of naming ceremony, priests, they are also scholarly, they knew astrology, many other science are also there. They could also foretell. So they also said this. And now Shuddhodana was thinking, oh God, if my son become as a normal, common householder, then who will be my successor if he becomes a sadhu sannyasi, give up the family life? So he tried his best to keep everything so luxurious around him, giving all kinds of teaching, making him ready to be a good successor, to be making him a good ruler. Because that prediction also was there. If he remains in the householder's life, he will be one of the greatest rulers, very benevolent and very powerful. And so he was teaching with the best teachers, under the stewardship of the best teachers. He was teaching history, geography, astronomy, these, that, Vedas, Upanishads, scripture, and this archery and other military, martial tactics and training, everything. And his memory was very nice, and all were amazed to see that wonderful baby picking up everything so quickly. So he was trained in that way, and finally father understood that it is better to get him married, and so that he will be, how to bind people. This Buddha has come to break the bondage, and father was trying his level best with all his kingly resources, royal resources, to spend money lavishly, keeping everything around him so colorful and comfortable, luxurious, with all pomp and grandeur, making everything attractive, so, and not allowing him to visit the kingdom and seeing other things. You have got nice training, so the prince will be the next king, will take the charge. And father was happy, but always there was in his mind this prediction of that Ashita says, and the priest, that it may also happen. So he was very afraid of that. But the son one day said, Father, I like to see the capital. He did not disclose all these things. Why all these things? A royal treatment, environment is, palatial environment is like that. Son did not even ask. No prince will ask why I am not going out. They are happy with this princely royal treatment in the palace. Finally, father thought that, yes, you go, but keep the whole city, capital, full of color and light and this and that there should not be any kind of a little bit of morose, a feeling of suffering, misery, all these things in his mind. Let everything is very joyful, blissful, colorful, full of pomp and grandeur, and he will enjoy all these things. No sense of renunciation, morose, feeling for others, though that will not peep in his mind. That was the idea of the father. This happens in many people's life, sadhu santos' life. Father, mother, they try their level best to bind them in the worldly life, and they sever this bondage. However, one day he left with the permission of the father, and Chandaka, the charioteer, was instructed by the king, take the boy to those places, everything, see that he is very happy always. So Chandaka, very faithful charioteer, he took him and showing different places. Father kept and they went out to see the kingdom personally. In the beginning, all seemed sweet and beautiful. But soon he discovered the grim reality of life, 3 woes of men. Till now, he has not faced any, neither in his life or anyone in the family, father, mother, ailment, old age, any death in the family. So he was not exposed to these things. Now he found 3 woes: one old aged person, one diseased person, a leper, and one dead body. So this they were taking to the funeral ground. So this Jara, Vyadhi, Mrityu, these 3 things are the cause in the Buddha's mind to generate the renunciation, which was already there in our minds. Good and bad is there, but if we get bad environment, then our evil tendencies will manifest and it will come up. And if our environment situation all around is very spiritual and pure, then our pure qualities, virtues will flourish. So, seeing this, Jara, Vyadhi, Jara means old age, Vyadhi means disease, and Mrityu means death. His mind became morose, and he was thinking in the Upanishad, one small boy, Nachiketa, we find in the Kathopanishad. He was also thinking, the father has ordered me to go to Jama. Jama was the king of death. Everyone dies, and this man will know the secret. So he was asking the question, yes, my dear Jamraja, I have come to you. My father has gifted me to you. And Jama was telling, I will give you boon. 3 days I have been absent in my home. My dear small boy, you are a brahmachari. You have the tapa, that power, luminous figure. I understand that aura is there. If somebody lives the life of purity, chastity, truthfulness, love, unselfishness, all these things, virtuous life, then a kind of spiritual aura that always remains present with that or those persons. So Yamaraja understood that 3 days this boy did not meet me and was keeping fasting. So he came first, he said, I am sorry for that, I apologize that you have been keeping fast. Well, then I have come to see you, so I did not take anything. So you asked for 3 days, you asked 3 boons. So he was asking for what is the, people say, Yeyang prete vichikitsa manushe astiteke naim astiti choike. What is actually there? After death, is there anything? Or death is the end of everything? Some say there is, and some say there is not. You being the king of death, you know after death what happens. Is there anything after death? Or there is not? Jama was telling, oh, you are a small boy, you leave all these things, you see, you ask for many other things. I will give you this, all these horses, damsels, wealth, for eternity you live as long as you like, you enjoy your life, you are a small boy, why you are asking all these questions, even gods and goddesses do not know the answer of this, they are also confused, you are a small boy, enjoy these things, and this small 9 years old boy, Nachiketa, who was also a son of a rishi, a muni, Vajasravas, he was, no, you have to give me the answer to that. So here also Buddhadeva was thinking that what is the goal of life? To be born, to get aged, to be old, to have, one day he saw a leper, one day he saw an old man, and another day he saw a dead body going to the cremation ground. So he was thinking, what is the goal of life? And all are suffering. So this question was the core, the central thought for the change of his mind, because he was very happy there. Beautiful wife, young wife, one baby, small child has been born, one son. What ordinary people want? Royal prince, royal treasure is there to look after everything, to cater to his needs. There was no suffering, no problem, but this thing that he was asking Chandak, the charioteer, my dear Chandak, what is this? This is an old man. These wrinkles and all these things, you understand, old people. Oh, we all will be old one day. Yes. My son also, yes. Another day, he found there was one leper suffering. Oh God, this is the condition. Rotten, this skins and... So yes, this also happen in life. Oh, this can happen in our life also? Yes. Then another day, the dead body. Oh, what is this? This dead body, they are taking him for cremation. Everyone has to die, and this is the life. There is no hide and seek. You understand yourself. Whether God is or God is not, that there is a question. We have to see who can show God, who can see God, and is there God with form or without form? What will happen after our death? Who knows? Who visited Yamaraja and came back to give us the first-hand knowledge, direct experience, what happens in after death? These are all bogus things maybe so many things, arguments, but with your little understanding and brain, everyone will understand that we are aging. One day we will be aged, old. Our senses will not work, and there are diseases, we are suffering, and at the end, everyone is dying, I will also die. Kimascharya Mataparam, in the Mahabharata, there is this story. Yudhishthira also was asked by the Yamaraja. They say, yes, don't take the water, answer my question first, then you are thirsty, you see all your brothers They were arrogant, they did not answer my question, so they are all, dead bodies are there. You cannot touch the water. Your condition also will be like that. Answer my question first. What is the question? Every day we find people are going to the funeral pyre, to the graveyard. Still everyone thinks, what is the Ashcharya? Kim Ashcharya Matappanam. He was answering, what is the most amazing, wonderful, surprising thing in this world? Yudhishthira answered that every day we see, experience that people are dying. But never ever we think of our own death. It happens with everyone. Today I am lecturing, death come, I am also thinking now death. You see, from the morning ever I have thought of death. Put your hand on your chest. Who amongst you have thought of death? It is not that easy thing. All other thoughts come. So, this was his realization that yes, there is death. And Yudhishthira answered that, and then this Yamraja was sitting there and he gave the answer. And he was satisfied. Yes, that is Kimarchya. What greater wonder can there be that every day we are seeing people are dying, never we think that we will also die, and what will happen to us, and how to overcome this death. What is the way? And Buddha has found out that way. So he was thinking, brooding over this Jara, Mrityu, Vyadhi, Mrityu, and the eternally undisputed truth. God is or God is not, you can go on whole life. And this is going on for thousands of years. Despite there are Buddhas, there are Chaitanyas, there are Ramakrishnas, there are Ramos, Krishnas, Jesus, Muhammad, so many coming, going, still the question is not going. It is not decaying, that once for all the question is solved, solution is given. No. Still, new situation, new question, new sadhana, new light, new gospel coming. So that is there. So Buddha was thinking, what is this life? And out of that, this turning point in his life. He did not get any joy in his regal life, princely life. And he was shocked and lost. And finally, he found one bhikshu. He was very morose, very sullen-faced and full of misery, not enjoying anything, pomp and grandeur everywhere. His father kept the whole kingdom lightened and colorful, made everything beautiful. But his mind was, at that time, one bhikshu was going. Bhikshu is sannyasi. And then seeing that, he asked Sandako, who is this? He is a sannyasi. So why his face is so blissful? His joyful face of a sannyasi, blissful. Everyone is full of sorrow due to the pain of and pangs of life, old age, disease, death, where everyone is mourning for the dead body. And this sannyasi, it is so joyful, light is coming out of his face. What is the secret? Well, he is a sannyasi, this is a bhikshu. He doesn't have any attachment for anything. So this is then he understood that I have also to become a bhikshu to win over this death. Because life should not be whole life. I will be always thinking of death and suffering, always pain and pangs. Where is the smile? Just to bring smile, everyone will die. So what is the path? So Swami Vivekananda said, others lived for their own liberation, another thing. Buddha did not want. Buddha did his sadhana for the good of others. So, Swamiji said that everyone does austerities, we all do, for my personal gain. Buddha's sadhana, austerities, living home and hearth, giving up all royal treatment and enjoyment, everything, severing his connection with the wife and child, father, mother, everything. Why? to find out a solution, the truth behind it for the whole of humanity. When Swami Vivekananda was supposed to come here in the month of just 6 months before the September 1893 World Parliament of Religion, in Mount Abu there is a place, a hill station town, very famous also, Mount Abu. Swami Vivekananda and Swami Turiyanandaji were there. Swami Vivekananda was telling, Hari Bhai, what is there in America showing, just telling, I think it is for this, means me. I do not know your God. I cannot tell what is that, but Hari Bhai, I tell you, I feel for others. My heart is burning. I can feel the pain in others' heart. So Turiyanandaji was telling, it is written, his statement, that I found that Swami Vivekananda's heart, as it were, it was a cauldron, big cauldron, in which there was an ointment. An ointment was being prepared so that the whole world, that ointment could be given to the suffering world, burning world, to remove their burning, to bring joy and happiness in their life. Vivekananda's heart was burning. I understood at that time what is the burning feeling for others. We all feel our own pain, but who feels for others? Jesus feels, Buddha feels, Vivekananda feels. So there are many similarities in the life of Buddha and Vivekananda. Many lectures and research articles also are there. The comparison of Buddha and Vivekananda, how much they had to undergo through the austerities, suffering, austerities, neglect of the society, many other things, and how they gave their whole heart, everything for the good of others, spreading the message, the new gospel of liberation and joy to everyone. So Buddha left home and started finding out a guru who can teach here and there. Nobody could give him the real solution of this. He started doing tapasya, austerities himself, and at one point of time he is sitting on the seat. Tapasya is telling, Iha shanishashrutume sharirang tapasti mangsang pralancha jatu aprappa bodhing bhukalpa sadhidam. This, I am now seated on this seat. When we do our japa meditation, we sit on a seat. This, some thick mattress, whatever it may be, so that comfortably for longer period one can think of that ultimate reality, this pursuit of truth. So Vivekananda also at that Buddha and Gautama at that time, I will not get up from this. No giving in to the pool of hunger, thirst, winter, this, that, no. Let this body fall, my skin rottens, my bones are melted, but unless and until I get the illumination, I will not give up this seat. So that was his final vow, and he was doing that tapasya and finally got illumined. And that day also, this day. And after getting this, now when we have that feeling that everything is that divine, within and without, our behavior, it is not that intentional. Now we do, oh, you are an old man, I am helping you. Oh, you have fallen there, I am taking you. You are a little injury, I am bringing some medicine for you, I am helping. It is a kind of feeling that I can do and you need it. I am giver, I am doer, and I am helping somebody. But when that knowledge of the ultimate reality, it dawns in the minds of the seers and sages and the illumined ones. It is a different one. They cannot wait but help others because they don't have any personal feeling, body feeling, me and mine. Everything they do it for the others, for the good of the humanity. So the friends, other ascetics who left him, that because during his sadhana, he took one day payasam from Sujata, and they were doing severe austerities and thinking Buddha has been deviated from the path of sadhana, austerities. So they deserted him, Buddha. They left Buddha. Now but they did not get illumination, other friends, this. But after having this illumination, Buddha now, as in the Upanishad, it is there, Swami Vivekananda quoted, Srinantu Vishya Amritasya Putra Ye Dhamani Dibbani Tastu Vedaham Etam Purusham Mahantam. In the Upanishad it is there, Shitasatura Upanishad, and Swamiji quoted it there in the World Parliament of Religions in 1893. Meaning is, come, ye, the children of immortal bliss, Amrita Suputra, why you will suffer? Come, see me, I am the enlightened one, free of all misery and disease and suffering, all agony. Come, you can also go beyond this darkness. If you know that Purusha, that ultimate reality, the truth I have known, you will also go beyond this suffering. How long you will remain in silent face and in a miserable condition? Your actual nature is not that, real nature is not that. Come, ye, the children of immortal bliss. So like that Rishi Munis, those who get the enlightenment, their mind become changed, their heart become changed. They become completely transformed one. So Buddha also, just going back to those friends, you have been trying, yes, come. And they accepted him and took refuge in Buddha that I quoted in the Buddhang Sharanam Gacchami, yes. They thought that doing severe austerities will only bring the salvation or the illumination, but they found that no, Buddha has found the Majjhim Pantha, the middle path. Don't do too much austerities at the cost of your body. If body is fallen and sick and gone, then what you will do? You cannot, before you are enlightened, you know the truth, the goal of purpose of human life is achieved, attainment, again you die and again you will be born. Why? Take care of your body, cut your coat according to your cloth, follow the Madhyam Pantha, this middle path, as I have followed. In the Gita also Sri Krishna said, Arjuna, too much austerities and too extremism, too much enjoyment and too much in the name of austerity, too much doing and doing harm to the body, that will not do. Shanay shanay uparamed, bit by bit, gradually, slowly, that final illumination, salvation will come. So if we torture our body too much and it goes, it perishes, then with the which vehicle? If you start kicking and beating your car, and you are traveling, you are driving, then where you will go if your car is broken? So this body, it is a vehicle to reach that ultimate reality. Through this form, through this body, we have to realize the bodilessness. So Buddha said, yes, I have got, you deserted me because I took the payasam to save my life from Sujata, you criticized and you thought that I am deviated from the path of austerities. Now, you see, I am that enlightened one. It is not ego. It is not conceit. Speaking the truth. Come, ye children of immortal bliss. Come and see me. See the joyful, blissful condition. They cannot contain their joy. That is what is the description in the scriptures, in the Vedas. When they become enlightened, they cannot get contented within themselves, with themselves only. So they want to share it and show the path. So his friends now became the first disciples, 5, and they started as Buddha. We take refuge in Buddha and Buddha's principle. We take refuge in Buddha's teachings. We will follow the middle path, and we will remain in a community, this brotherhood, monastic brotherhood. So that was the they are Buddhang Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmang Sharanam Gacchami, and Sanghang Sharanam Gacchami. So Buddha started and asked his friends also, disciples also, now go door to door and spread this new gospel, this message, new message of love and compassion. So he did austerities, got enlightened, and on the full moon day, Baishak, and then he requested his other disciples also to go forward. He himself was visiting here and there and asked the friends, Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya, live the life. That is the path to salvation. Swami Vivekananda many times quoted this after giving Brahmacharya mantra to Sister Nivedita Margaret Noble in 1898, 25th March. Then he was telling Nivedita in the old temple, Belur Math, now live your life, Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya, like the Buddha did and his disciples. So Nivedita was so inspired, you see. At the age of 44, she gave up his body. Her guru, 39 years, 5 months, 24 days, and the disciple, Sister Nivedita, passed away just at the age of 44 years. Such a stout, strong body of Sister Nivedita, you see the photograph. But she did so much for others, following the footsteps of her guru. So Buddha inspired his disciples. Live the life, not sitting here and buying one's own liberation and enlightenment. That is another kind of bondage. Don't do that. So he inspired all his disciples, himself also, living here and there, preaching in different places, and this grand message, new gospel. And what is that? This freedom, gospel of freedom, gospel of eternal peace and bliss, nirvana. There is none pantha vidyata, there is no other path. As the Rishi Munis has said, don't try to find this ultimate reality in anything else. It is here and here. Knowing the truth only, you can go beyond the death. You have to face the challenges of life, not showing your turning back. And you cannot have joy and happiness and go beyond this. If you want to go beyond this death and suffering and misery, then you have to face it, and this is the path. Do good to others, be good and do good to others. This Buddhadev gave some conducts, this Panchashila. I will just, time is short, that if you live this life, Panchashila, what are these Panchashilas? Panchashila is behaving 5 precepts, Panchashila. Refrain from taking life, refrain from taking that which is not given, means stealing. Don't kill, don't steal, refrain from misuse of the senses, control your senses, and refrain from telling lies, speak the truth, and refrain from self-intoxication with drink and drugs. Buddhas and Jesus, hundreds and thousands and millions of years they are telling, and our problem is all around here itself. We find the other day also we had a program here, this how to de-addict people. Buddha and Jesus, Vivekananda, they are doing their works, and we are also doing our works. You tell whatever is, that we will not do. You see, thousands of years back, this Jesus also said in the 10 Commandments, adulteration, take care of mother, father, truthfulness, don't do any adulteration. So many things, but being Christians, how many are following those things? Bringing joy, misery and suffering in their own life, bringing it in the society also, bringing it for others also. But real devotees of Jesus, real devotees of Buddhas, real devotees of Vivekanandas, Ramakrishnas, Ramas, Krishnas, they cannot do anything wrong. perfect life. So these things he taught Buddha everywhere, this message of freedom and nirvana and a life. And his teachings was, in short, Buddha himself, I am quoting from Buddha himself, then we understand what he wanted to say. Buddha is telling this tathagata. Tathagata means, tatha means there, agata means from there, has come from there, means from truth he has come, from the ultimate reality, this tathagata, Buddha. He is telling about himself. The tathagata means himself does not seek liberation in austerities, but for the reason you must not think that he indulges in worldly pleasure, nor does he live in abundance. The Tathagata has found the middle path. So, as I told, it was Buddha. In the time of austerities, seeking for the truth, don't go extreme. He who recognizes the existence of suffering, its cause, there is dukkha, suffering. This is the Four Noble Truths. Suffering, its cause, there is a cause of our suffering. Whether God is or God is not, we do not know. We have to realize and then tell. And then also others will believe or not believe, but we know that there is suffering, misery. And it has its cause and effect. There is a cause. I am now paining because there was a pain, it is there. I have broken my leg because I was trying to jump and fell down and it is broken. It automatically my leg is broken. It is not that. Everything cause and effect. So there is a cause, there is suffering, there is cause of suffering and its cessation. It can be ended. Suffering we can stop as they experienced, they ended their suffering in their life. And path leading to its cessation has fathomed these Four Noble Truths that there is a path also to end this. There is misery, there is cause of misery, there is end of misery if you want, if you try, and there is a path to end this misery. So, this is the Four Noble Truths, and he will walk in the right, and I quote from Buddha, he will walk in the right path, right views, 8 paths, this to remove this suffering. Ashtanga, 8-phased path. What is that? He will walk in the right path, right views will be the torch to light his way, right aims will be his guide, right words will be his dwelling place on the road, his gait will be straight, for it is right behavior. His gait will be straight, for it is right behavior. One has to have right behavior. His refreshments will be the right way of earning his livelihood, right efforts will be his steps, and right thoughts his breath, and peace will follow in his footprints. These are the 8-step path, Ashtangi Yoga Marga, said by Buddha, preached by Buddha. Then Buddha is telling, happy is he who has overcome all selfishness, happy is he who has attained peace, and happy is he who has found the truth. There is no immortality except in truth, for truth alone abides forever. Satyameva Jayate. Swami Vivekananda said, for the sake of truth, everything can be sacrificed, but truth cannot be sacrificed for anything in this world. Sri Ramakrishna said, Satya Katha Kolir Tapasya. The person who is following the truthfulness is doing the highest tapasya austerities in this Kali Yuga, and through that only one can realize the truth, experience the truth. So, then he says, Buddha says, be like brothers, one in love, one in holiness, and one in your zeal for the truth. It's all Upanishadic truth. Swami Vivekananda said, Buddha discarded, he has started a new sect, a new thing, but these are all there. He preached the Vedantic truth of oneness. The distinctive signs of true religion are goodwill, love, truthfulness, purity, nobility of feeling, and kindness. As a mother, even at the risk of her life, protects her son, her only son, so let him who has recognized the truth cultivate goodwill among all beings without measure. That which is most needed is a loving heart. Jesus said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." So this is there. Swami Vivekananda said this: you need the combination of head, heart, and hand. This is do you feel for others? Vivekananda is getting then that is the first step of spiritual life. If you feel for others, do you have that heart? So Buddha also is telling that this loving heart, if we can purify our heart and make it free of all desires for worldly things, then only the light and life will come in our life. We will be following the path, real path, exact, genuine path. We will be reaching the goal in this life itself. What neither mother nor father nor any other relatives could do, a well-directed mind does, and thereby elevates one. So pure mind becomes the guru. Sri Ramakrishna said, mind becomes your guru. Who will guide you always, whether I will do or not do, do or not do? If your mind is purified, how can mind be the purified? Do good to others and always try to be unselfish. Then mind automatically will be purified, and that will be your guide. Let a man overcome anger by love, evil by good, greed by liberality, and the lie by truth. So these are a few from Jesus Christ and one or two quotes from Swami Vivekananda, and I finish. Vivekananda had wonderful love and respect for this person who inspired him throughout his life in so many ways. Vivekananda is telling his doctrine was this: why is there misery in our life? Because we are selfish. We desire things for ourselves. That is why there is misery. What is the way out? The giving up of the self. The self does not exist, or the small self. The phenomenal world, all this that we perceive, is all that exists. There is nothing called soul underlying the cycle of life and death. There is the stream of thought, one thought following another in succession, each thought coming into existence and becoming non-existent at the same moment. That is all. There is no thinker of the thought, no soul. The body is changing all the time. So is mind, consciousness. The self, therefore, is a delusion. All selfishness comes of holding on to the self. To this illusory self. If we know the truth that there is no self, then we will be happy and make others happy. This is Buddha's doctrine. This was what Buddha taught. I am quoting Vivekananda. And he did not merely talk. He was ready to give up his own life for the world. He said, if sacrificing an animal is good, sacrificing a man is better. King Bimbisara invited him and he was going to meet him, and King Bimbisara at that time was doing a sacrifice for having a son and slaughtering so many goats, and then Buddha himself went to the slaughtering place and said, my dear king, I am Buddha, enlightened one. If by killing, slaughtering, shivering the head of one goat or hundreds and thousands goats you get merit, how much more merit you will get by shivering my head? I give my head and you cut it and you offer it and you get the merit. But don't kill any more goats and other animals. See the heart. Ready to give up his own life, head, to save the life of one goat, one animal. That is Buddha. So, Vivekananda is telling it was he who said that sacrificing an animal is good, but sacrificing man is better. And he offered himself as a sacrifice. He said, this animal sacrifice is another superstition. God and soul are two big superstitions. God is only a superstition invented by the priests. If there is a God, as these Brahmins preach, these priests, why is there so much misery in the world? He is just like me, a slave to the law of causation. God cannot do anything good. If he is not bound by the law of causation, then why does he create? Such a God is not at all satisfactory. There is the ruler in heaven that rules the universe according to his sweet will and leaves us all here to die in misery. He never has the goodness to look at us for a moment. Our whole life is continuous suffering, but this is not sufficient punishment. After death also we must go to the places where we have other punishments. Yet we continually perform all kinds of rites and ceremonies to please this creator of the world. This, against all these ceremonials in the Vedas, he revolted. Buddha said, and I quote Swami Vivekananda, Buddha said, these ceremonials are all wrong. There is but one ideal in the world. Destroy all delusions. What is true will remain. As soon as the clouds are gone, the sun will shine. That was the quote Buddha said. Now Vivekananda says, how to kill the self? Become perfectly unselfish, ready to give up your life, even for an ant. Work not for any superstition, not to please any god, not to get any reward, but because you are seeking your own release by killing yourself. Worship and prayer and all that, these are all nonsense. You all say, I thank God, but what does he leave? You do not know, and yet you are all going crazy about God. Buddha's idea is that there is no God, only man himself. He repudiated the mentality which underlies the prevalent ideas of God. He found it made men weak and superstitious. If you pray to God to give you everything, who is it then that goes out and works? God comes to those who work hard. God helps them who help themselves. An opposite idea of God weakens our nerves, softens our muscles, makes us dependent. Everything independent is happy. Everything dependent is miserable. Man has infinite power within himself and he can realize it. He can realize himself as the one infinite self. It can be done, but you do not believe it. You pray to God and keep your powder dry all the time. Buddha taught the opposite. Do not let men weep. Let them have none of this praying and all that. He himself said, what I am today, not with the help of any guru, any god, anywhere. I had faith in myself, and what I am an illumined one. I am a Buddha today, and everything by myself. So why I should depend on anyone? So whether God is, he was actually God. Did I say God is not? And there is no God. Did I say, is there any God? So he kept all this philosophical discussion, which is very difficult to prove. He kept it aside, all aside. If you want to get out of this misery, immediately you start, as I have thought, that there is misery, there is cause of misery, misery can be ended, removed, and there is a path to end this misery. You follow this, whether God is or not God is, your whole life you will be thinking, and this is whether this is false gods or not, who can tell that? So that was this life of Buddha. And always, if you call only a set of words prayer, you make prayer superficial. Such prayers are not much good. They can scarcely bear any real fruit. In our Hindu scripture, there is the Shoham, Shoham. Prayer should be always that faith that, I am he, whatever it may be. Faith in one's own self. It will be a continuous one. Shoham, Shoham. It is called ajapa jap. With the breathing, it is that faith, that conviction, that yes, either I am one with God, ultimate reality, that Vedanta, or I am everything myself, nothing to depend on, nothing to be worried for. So, whatever, this in the scripture also is there, Nayamatma Balohinanula, always being dependent, weak-minded people cannot, soft-brained, weak-minded, chicken-hearted cannot find the truth. One has to be free and as broad as the sky. One has to have a mind that is crystal clear. And what Buddha has achieved, Vivekananda says, what a yogi can achieve by following path of bhakti, meditation, knowledge, Buddha has achieved through the path, doing this karma yoga, unselfish work for each and everyone, not caring for his own body and not trying to have any reward for that. When at the deathbed, when that was also unique, when his disciples were very shedding tears, Ananda and others, what will happen to us? Then he said, and consider his death. If he was great in life, he was also great in death. He ate food offered to him by a member of a rare race similar to our American Indians. Hindus do not touch them because they eat everything indiscriminately. He told his disciples, do not eat this food, but I cannot refuse it. Go to that man and tell him he has done me one of the greatest services of my life. He has released me from this body. Because all things, what he was fed, that made him, the dysentery caused him dysentery and he died. And he said, thank him that he has released me from this body. Disciples weeping, Buddha said, no false glorification of this passing personality showing himself. Don't think Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. What is Buddha? Be yourself the lamp. The Buddha is not a person. He is a realization. Work out your own salvation. Atma dipo bhavo. Be thou the lamp unto yourself. Be thou the light unto yourself. And show it to others also. Don't depend on others. That was the final message of Buddha on deathbed. Atma dipo bhavo. Be thou the light unto yourself. With this prayer, with this instruction of Buddha, may we conclude. Om peace, peace, peace. Hari Om Tat Sat. On 26th, Buddha and Swamiji, Swami Atmagyanananda ji will speak. Swami Atmagyanananda ji is from our Washington DC Center. All of you know him, so all are invited to attend that program on 26th, Buddha and Swamiji, Swami Atmagyanananda. And classes on 28th Tuesday, Bhagavatam by Swami Sarvadevananda ji, and Shetashatara Upanishad also that day at 7:30 p.m. by Sarvadevananda ji. 21st Vivek Churamani by Sumanasananda, and as I told, 23rd, there will be Buddha Puja. 23rd, Thursday, 7:30 to 9 p.m. 7:30, the life of Buddha and Buddhist chantings. 8, question and answers with online guest. Shuko Takaoka Zen sect. 8:45, flower offering and bathing baby Buddha. All are requested to come and attend these programs. Now we can sit in the greenhouse, and after having a tea or coffee, please have some refreshments.